And I'll just knock on your door, or is your meeting gonna go, I mean, I try to keep these meetings to an hour, maybe an hour and 15 at max, but especially with a small group, I doubt it will. So,
Yeah, you can just head out the door and I'll lock it up and
okay, you don't even want me to bother you, you're me doing your thing.
no worries. Yeah,
Okay, okay, good,
thanks, Victoria.
okay,
And this is started, so you're ready to go when your group gets here.
thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Likewise, and appreciate your help.
My pleasure.
Hi, Fran.
Sorry, I'm like,
Not at all, you're not. We still have 1 minute.
I might have one minute. Nice and cool.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we knew that we were open to business, but our store seems to be well. So we are waiting on Abdo and so. Jim's gonna be in another zone or something.
Yeah,
We'll just be on chickens.
So how are you doing?
Good, yourself?
Good, okay.
It's the beginning of the busy season, right?
Beginning to be, right, yeah.
Do you know your CRNs yet? Or will
We
you?
really don't, I mean, the one thing that I have, which is a month thing, is the Where's Waldo?
Okay.
Are you familiar with Waldo, this little?
Yeah.
And that's the whole month of July,
Okay.
but, I mean, thinking about it, I mean, this is, you're talking about the postcard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think I would put them. I mean, even if I knew them, I mean, I think what draws. Is bigger names, and at the moment, we don't have any set, and,
Okay.
so, I mean, I thought about it this morning, but that is a month long, and that,
Fun.
looks fun, so, and you can. I mean, it can be revised any way you want, I just wanted to. Do it quickly so that you had something.
So how does this work?
Well, I mean, last year, I think there were 19 participating businesses. And the kids get passports at any of the businesses. And then they get a stamp that says that they've been in the business.
Okay.
And along the way, they get a sticker, I can't remember exactly what they get, but when. You know, when they bring in it, when they deliver it, they get some things. And then at the end of July, we have a party. And solicit prizes from the different businesses, plus there's a collection of Waldo books, and we throw in things and,
So generous.
play games. And then they get their prizes, everyone goes home with a prize.
Okay, awesome. So it's not like Elf on the Shelf, it's not like a physical little miniature.
It is, it's a little Waldo,
Oh.
and they have to go into the business and find the Waldo,
Okay,
where it's hidden each day.
okay.
And the idea is that each.
So they might not find it, because they don't go to all 19 businesses every day.
No, they only need to find it once in each business.
Okay.
And each store will move it around on a daily
Oh, so
basis.
every store has a little.
Every
bit.
store has a wallet,
Gotcha,
sorry,
gotcha,
sorry,
okay, okay.
yeah.
I thought this one was like a
No,
traveling
no,
wallet.
it doesn't, it's not a traveling wallet, every store has their own wallet. And, you know, I mean, I know we give hints, I mean, everyone leaves having found it. You know,
But he's in the
You're
kids
warm.
section.
yeah, well, generally it's in the kids section. You know, you're getting closer, you're warm, oh, you're cold.
Cute.
But I did watch, I mean, obviously I picked up the details again from the minutes, but I did watch the video from
Okay,
the last meeting.
okay, well, thank you for that, I'm sorry for the hassle logistically, I know you showed up and was trying.
I was trying.
Hi.
Hi, Abdu, how are you?
Wow,
It
it's nice and cool here.
Yeah,
is nice and cool here.
Is Jim coming?
No, Jim's not coming.
Jim is in another meeting, but he did set us up, so when everybody's here and we have a call to order, I'll start the
Okay.
recording again.
Oh,
I brought seltzer and wine if you'd like.
oh, thank you.
It's so nice of you to do that. I saw you did that the last time. Somebody did it last time.
I did.
It was you.
Yeah. I think that like, you gotta reward people for showing up in the day. It's a lot to show up and do everything online, and I think it makes a difference when people show up.
Oh, I definitely think it makes a difference. Yeah, yeah. And I didn't dare not show up this time. I was afraid, well, what if I couldn't get in again? You know?
Well, I'm sorry you'll be getting home late, but thank you for that.
Well, we're such a small group, I'm not sure it'll be that late.
Yeah.
Technology is amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this little owl that knows where we are. That's this thing, so I thought that we had cameras beam on us, but it finds us.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
bye, good to see you, Sally.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome.
We spread out, then it looks like a big crowd.
Yeah, right. Just waiting on Kent.
Sure.
It's only 7:05, it's been a few minutes. Especially since we're at my group today.
You got your Yukon t-shirt.
My husband went there, so not for, we watched last week is, he actually used to, he plays the trombone
Okay.
and he was in the men's basketball band when he went, so he would travel around with them
Oh, okay.
during March.
Okay,
And his
okay.
last year he played for them was when they won the 2004 championship.
Okay, all right. Oh,
So-
that's very exciting.
So,
Yeah, everything to do with him.
so he is very excited that UConn won, yes.
Well, actually, I have a grandson who's a trombone player,
Oh, really?
who's in, I mean, he's got a double major and music is one of his, and he has a concert tonight at 8 o'clock.
So we want to be done by 8 for
So-
you.
Oh, okay.
I'll be able to.
I know, my husband used to say he has no idea how he made this band because he was a math major. Very, very good at music, but
That is a
he was,
math
but he was
band.
against all these music majors because you had to try out and like, they had
Yeah,
to choose
yeah,
you to be in this,
yeah.
because it was competitive. So he was like, I don't know how I,
But a
Yeah,
lot of good
That
mathematicians
is,
are
that
good.
is the math.
that, yeah,
I mean,
there is
that's his
a,
dual major, music and math.
yeah,
Yeah.
he has a very much
Yeah,
an
no,
an ear
there
for
is a
music.
brain that accommodates both of those things.
Yeah, he's also very
Maybe it's
artistic,
not
like
mine.
technically wise, like, so he kind of combines all those.
Cool. Let's see, oh, Kent. Is that her? Okay. All right.
Thank God for computers so that you know.
Yeah. we can-
I thought I saw. Did you see passed by one of the members?
Ken?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see anyone outside.
No, he's not coming.
Okay.
She just got an email
Oh.
that he's not coming. Some change in his itinerary.
It could be something,
Or say here.
I think he has dorm duty in there, maybe there's something.
This is his daughter's been away.
Oh, okay.
Family. Reconnoitering. All right.
So what big decisions will they make?
Now that we can take.
All this power we
Yeah.
hold now.
Okay, so resume. Resume or the trial?
Okay, so this is something we discussed the last time. And this is my own creation.
Oh, thank you for taking initiative, appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a suggestion,
Yeah,
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 yeah. The, I chose the,
1 second, I want to make sure we're recording.
I chose the bird, the American robin, because it's our state bird. It's a
Ah.
Connecticut state bird. It's the American robin. And I
Alright.
love robins, you know.
All right, all call to order, I don't know how formal we have to be, welcome Fran and Abdo and Susan. So is everybody have a chance to look at the minutes from last month?
Mhm.
Are they possible? All right.
Yeah.
So Fran, you're good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine, but
Okay.
I wasn't actually at the meeting, so
Okay. But you did watch the
I did
meeting,
watch the meeting.
so it.
I guess that counts. Yeah, no,
So nothing really out of order for you?
no.
Okay. All right, so the minutes of March 9th are approved. And so on to old business. I regret to inform you that Karen and I had not had a chance last month to connect. Our schedules have been compatible, but she's back in town this week. So by May 11th, we want to blow you guys away with our progress. We're determined. But basically you'll agree to move forward with exploring this, and so we wanna draw up a, copy and for your approval and, start that whole process of making sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so that's the update. I'm sorry, it's not much of one. Do you have any thoughts about that we should be considering as we go into this process?
I hadn't really thought
Okay.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't volunteer for it, that we did, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you felt included and you had the option of
Yeah,
sending us anything you wanted. Susan and Abdo, anything about that?
Sarah.
Excuse me,
That's okay.
Sarah. My bad. Anything you wanted us to consider? Okay.
I'm thinking, if there was a way for the council to, I don't know. It's just a thing that I thought about, to have a section for the citizens of Washington. When they pay their taxes, that there will be a little section that said, $1 contribution for the Arts Council. Whether, that's why I was hoping that Jim would be here, because he could have told us the technicality about that. And
I
that,
think it'd be cool to have that be an option for all the councils, not just arts, but I mean, there's the environmental, et cetera, and I think that would be a great idea.
yes, but I mean, I'm thinking of our council.
Well, no, I love that you
but
all,
you can't, I don't think.
No, you
can
can't
just do it
yeah,
for one.
you can't just do it.
Okay,
But I like the idea that that could be an option for all the designated councils.
That it would be the town council,
Is it-
that are part of the town, because I mean, when
Yes.
it's, yeah.
optional, it's optional, of course,
Yeah.
we don't want to force anybody to put $1, and maybe some people it can be phrased that it could be more than $1. I mean, if somebody wants to put $5,
A donation of their.
a donation of their own.
I think it's a great idea to try, we'll see,
Right, absolutely.
that's a great idea, I wonder how they logistically, if like you're paying your taxes and you know your tax bill is like, then to be
Would have to
surprised,
Closure with
Yeah.
the tax bill.
okay,
It-
Sent out.
It's usually printed on the bill.
I see, so,
So
yeah,
I think that the bills, aren't they a form that they get from somebody? I mean, because, they all look the same, no matter what town you're in, so I'm
Oh,
not
interesting.
sure.
okay,
I'm not sure you
Anyway.
can print on that, but it could be an enclosure, but
Mhm.
ask Jim.
yeah,
He'll be able to tell you one. thing.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping he would be here. today,
yeah,
because-
well,
But he'll, we can ask him.
he's pretty accessible, so we
Yeah.
can get that answered. So in terms of, having a presence at the farmer's market, I've been in contact with Lauren Leminski. As much as she wants to support the arts, there's so many other organizations that have been requesting this. But from what I understand, the town owns that little triangle where the, micro triangle where the juice bar is, the electric.
Oh, okay.
So we can set up like a little stand there, potentially, like a little, I was thinking like a folding chair and like a little sandwich board with. Like the different brochures from the different councils. I was talking to Michelle about this and Jim thought that was maybe a good idea to get people involved in city government and be aware of city government's doing.
Right,
Or town government. And so, as far as last I heard, Michelle has some extra sandwich boards. So we just have to kit it up with some way of pockets to hold these little brochures. So
so it will be on the sidewalk or on the garden?
when you pull up like right
Yeah,
next to.
I know where the
to-
plug is.
Exactly. So there's like a little patch of grass there where the plug stand is set up. There's enough room for like 1 to 2 people to hang out together.
Okay,
Have the sandwich board there and let people, if
why
you're-
would
you're
she
town at-
allow us to have a little section inside?
inside, because there's not much room.
Oh.
It's dedicated to the farmers,
Right.
and they're trying to keep that consistent. They solicit, for the perpetuation of Judy Black within.
Okay,
So it
yeah.
starts to be
yeah,
complicated for them.
And it's also art exhibits going on.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
The artists wouldn't necessarily appreciate having something inside.
So I think this
Okay.
is a good compromise, and frankly, you can't miss people standing there or sitting there.
Well, I also like the idea that it would involve materials from environmental council and, all the different organizations, and that might be able to help in terms of having people there
Mhm.
to, be at if you're still thinking of having a person there.
Yeah,
So that it doesn't fall totally on this council.
exactly. We can have personnel, defray,
Right.
so it wouldn't be all of us getting sunburned, exactly.
so what date would that be? Do you?
Well, as I understand it, and I think,
27th, I think.
yeah, so that's the Memorial Day weekend. It's the first Saturday, it's the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, and that is the first. So, Abdo, are you nominating yourself?
Afternoons, I'll do the
Well, the farmer's
afternoon
market
shift.
only goes until 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, okay, I'll get up early that day.
Well, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
and
we can
also
do that.
again, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's good that you're game.
If you, yeah, I can be there in 11 or something like that, and
I imagine Saturday is a huge day for you, and I don't.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I would not be volunteering for this particular activity.
Yeah, it starts, I believe, at 9 or 10 and runs only till 1, so it's not that long, but it's nice to maybe have staggered, et cetera. I know you have small children.
Yeah,
that-
my husband teaches on Saturday mornings,
So you're
and
on
then
family
I
duty.
take the kids to their Saturday morning activities. Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
So I'm not consistent with
Yeah.
being available.
Well, that would be to be continued, but we got a few more weeks on that. The big thing that I would love help on and brainstorming on is how to reach all of the arts organizations and update a little mini directory of them, so we make sure to get their information for this card. I mean, Michelle has been doing a good job of just recreating last year's, et cetera, but things change over, new groups pop up. So if anybody wants to help with that, I'd really appreciate that sort of nitty gritty work. So like, for instance, I'm gonna go through this methodically and see who we don't have information from. And I will email the person who I understand is responsible, but if I can't get through to them, just like having some backup on that, or dividing and conquer, or doing like a little phone banking together.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can help with that.
Okay,
Are those organizations in Washington, or is it like
Yes.
Washington, Bridgewater?
the towns of Washington is what, I mean, we only have so much space.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's a good reason to get those other ones called, and maybe that's like part 2 is encouraging them to come to be visitors at this meeting, and when it's relevant, like we're working on something that may be relevant to their organization. But for this.
Yeah, I just didn't know
yeah.
if there's.
No, thank you for clarifying, but that's what I'm thinking.
So what are some of the examples you have on there?
Here, you can see from last year.
Oh, right.
this,
So-
this car looks good to me, I mean, she probably has everybody, Yeah.
She's very good,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anybody else.
The only is if, so like, these are all specific. So when you call them, you're looking for like the dates and,
Like Simon's gonna get me his dates, I mean, I know about the law solstice, but there are other openings.
like, I know, for example, the library is doing a children's, once a month, I think it's Marisa Bell from, I think she's doing a program for them I think it's painting.
Okay,
I don't know the details of it, but I could get that from
well, we can
Linda.
make sure to get the library.
Yeah,
We haven't gotten it.
because they're trying
The
to,
town calendar would probably have some,
Mhm.
I mean, that should be
Yeah.
checked to see what might be filled in on the calendar that might not be.
Right.
and probably from Kent also, if he, I don't know if he and Tracy are doing anything.
Okay,
Cause didn't they say the last week of June or something, they were hosting something at the arts center up at Frederick Gun School. I can't remember, so I would guess I would follow up with him also. I don't know if that's like, in terms of the type of events. I don't know if it's for the public or if they're just doing a class. I feel like he mentioned that at our first meeting, but I haven't heard, I don't know any like details of it.
I think that there's like a jazz camp or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the jazz camp runs and that
Yeah.
they do the Friday night performances,
Yeah,
that are open to the public.
Yeah,
okay.
it's in June,
And that starts in July. I just thought Kent mentioned, I thought he said he was
and they
doing.
do have.
I'll be sure to bug everybody on this list between now and next meeting,
Sure.
but yes, thank you. It's that kind of like, hey, I
yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
that's super helpful.
Yeah, no, they do, performances of the faculty
Mhm.
throughout the jazz, you know.
Yeah.
Cool, and then there is the festival itself.
And so the Google Calendar link is to a wrong thing, so I apologize for that, but it's gonna be just actually a simple doc where we're just gonna have month by month where people can say, hey, I'm thinking about this date, so it's not on the official Explore Washington calendar. So I just wanted to clarify that, and we'll correct that link in the future. But again, like, I know you're very active with your children, so as you find out about cool things, especially for kids, that would be great. And I'll make sure to get that link corrected in next week's meeting minutes, next month's. So I've never run a town contest, and I don't know if any of you have. This is a great beginning, we'll enter it, but how do you guys suggest? I mean, it's gonna be a fun thing to judge and weigh in and all of that. What do you think the parameters should be for a logo for our organization?
You're talking physical and content, I mean, what are you talking about in terms of parameters?
I'm talking about, like, we are seeking a logo for the Arts Council. You know, the timeline, should we offer a prize? You know, what do you think will make it successful?
I think people love prizes. So if you could get somebody to donate, you know, if our association wanted to
Free
donate.
taxes.
Wanted to donate a class or
Or
a gift card
certificate.
to,
Yeah,
you know, the bookstore. But yeah, that's
I think
definitely.
we always
it's
lean
it's
heavily on
fun.
Hickory Stick, but,
Yeah, and they don't have to be big prizes.
yeah,
Yeah, no. I mean, it could even
it could be
be,
glory too.
Well, but I think that's definitely true, but
but you could even like, if you're thinking outside the box, I mean, you could even do something like, I don't know if you want multiple prizes or just the prize for the winner, but you could do something like Kent offering like you and, you know, 8 friends, like an improv class for the night or something, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Something-
great.
Something
yeah.
that's a little more
I
outside
like that.
the like, than just like a monetary thing. And then that maybe will like encourage people to do the arts, like prizes that
I like that a lot. I
You know
like
what I
that.
mean? Or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
a-
an experience,
like
an
an
arts
experience,
experience.
like a
I
class
really
with
like
Mike
that.
Savell or like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's her name.
I
So-
really like that idea.
that sounds something like more for a fundraiser though.
It does.
I mean, I just wonder if you save that
Mm.
for a fundraiser.
Are we having a fundraiser?
No, but we
Okay.
talked about the fact that.
Yeah, we would like to eventually
that we
raise
would like
funds,
to.
Okay,
but I'm gonna start a fundraising
But I-
ideas and I like that.
Yeah, no, the experience, I think. I mean, well, just watching all the auctions and everything, Montessori and all of them, I mean, it's the experiences, I think, that. Grab the most attention when it comes to something like that.
I'm really jealous of somebody who won the Get Your Goat experience from a steep rock. Which they're like, you literally have goats like doing like yoga with you or
oh,
something.
yeah,
And my, anyway, but things like, yes, experiences are great, yes, for fundraisers. But back to the logo, probably some little prize and some glory, and they'll get a picture in the selectman's letter or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I would say the main decision would be, do you want logo along with a
a tagline.
tagline, yeah,
Mhm.
is, or do you just simply want the artwork and the council is choosing the tagline? And that's, I guess that's a question to,
Yeah, I mean, I think it would help the designer if we had a tagline. I mean, we could start brainstorming on some taglines tonight. Or I can create a document, you can submit them. I just find that when the people like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and then they don't have time, and they don't get back to you, and they don't send anything.
right, right.
yeah, I think that actually, if we provided the tagline, then that gives direction to
Mhm,
the artwork.
mhm.
Because then, yeah, then I guess it would be all over the place if you were trying to match someone. Like maybe you like their artwork, but you don't like their tagline, you know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
Then that would be a problem. So, sure,
Probably the tagline should come from the Arts Council.
Yeah.
Because it's an expression of the
I
mission.
was gonna say it's the other mission.
Do you guys want to, I mean, we have Abdo already that said make Washington greater.
What are,
I thought, even if people think Washington DC, it should be greater.
Well, I
So-
don't, I respect that deliberate
Yeah,
and
yeah,
arguably smart pun. but
double
I don't-
entendre.
Yeah, but I personally don't want to be associated with Washington DC.
yeah, I think that's what made me remind me of too. I was like,
Yeah. I know, but that's what I
No,
said.
but I love that you're playful and you're trying stuff. I mean, look, nobody else did anything out there, so you still get a gold star.
Well, and then the robin, as I said, is the Connecticut state bird.
Which is, but I feel like that's more of a naturalist thing, like that's something that maybe should be part of like a steep rock or a, outdoors type of thing. Not, it's not to say no, but, what do you, I mean, look, I
think
don't wanna get bogged down.
No, I
critiquing
know,
this
I know
right
what
now.
you mean, but I thought that most people love birds.
Yes, birds
So,
are certainly
know,
popular in art and
In
yes.
our area, yeah. I mean, I see them, the first time I wait for them. And after the winter, and I'm just feeding them, and all the robins are here,
I know, it always feels like the visiting
Yeah,
celebrities,
yeah.
completely
You
agree.
know that we survive the winter when you see the robins, And then I found out it was the state bird, the American robin, yeah. But anyway, that was just, I was having fun.
I love that you did that.
so what are the
The arts,
our mission? Do we have it like to read? Cause I think
Yes.
you were right, Fran, in saying that the tagline
If
should
there's
be,
something to grow out of that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness she has a computer.
I know.
let's see. Okay. The goal of the Arts Council is to, quote, increase support of cultural institutions and community events in order to foster independent artists and craftspeople. See the menu at left of the full statement, full mission statement. The Washington Arts Council is dedicated to increasing arts awareness and appreciation by supporting, promoting, and connecting visual, performing, and literary artists, arts organizations, and businesses. We celebrate the arts every day by cultivating all types of creative exploration and artistic expression. We take pride in serving and connecting regional artists and the general public to information and opportunities that inspire a creative life. We promote, advise on, create, coordinate, and encourage innovative programming, public art, artist services, inclusive youth programs, and community events and art-based initiatives. Cultural activities shall include, but not limited to, music, theater, dance, visual arts, architecture, history, literature, and film. We aim to inspire a rich and vibrant community in Washington.
In the very beginning, there were 3 words.
Arts awareness and appreciation.
No, well, no, maybe the third sentence.
All types of creative exploration and artistic expression.
like about the connections. For some reason, the word connection,
I like the word connection too.
Supporting, promoting, and connecting.
Connected to what?
well, I think you're connecting community to the arts or artists, or,
So that leaves the whole thing open, you know, they don't say, there is nothing specific.
Supporting and artistic endeavors.
I think when I think of the Arts Council, I think it's about creating a connection between arts and the community, basically saying everyone can be part of this and everyone, so something in that vein, maybe. Just don't know what, but that it's for everyone is like my big, when I think of it, not just for self-proclaimed artist, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very crude idea, but like, you know, like an artist palette and like instead of color blobs, you have like symbols for the different arts.
Yeah, because
Like
I was
you
thinking
have,
like a
like-
shield, but instead of a shield, have a palette, yeah.
Yeah, and so on the palette you have. You know, the dramatic masks, you have a book, you have, and they can be in different colors like an artist palette. And then you have a paintbrush that looks like a pointer that like you have different buttons or something.
Sure.
But the only thing I don't like about, there are a lot of things I don't like about my own idea. One is that it's gonna be hard to be legible and at a distance, it might just look like an artist palette and then it would look only like, that's the only
For
art we
painting,
care about.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you want to, ideally, you want a logo that reads well at different scales.
Encompasses everything.
But let's go back to the tagline.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
that will
say-
help us with the visuals.
Connecting all artistic endeavors for everyone.
Connecting all artistic endeavors for everyone. All the arts for all.
I was just gonna say that, I was gonna say art for everyone or art for all. I wonder if you could even, this is a little trickier and takes a little more brain power, but I was even thinking if you took the word arts and did something that was A-R-T, do you know what I mean? Like, so like what you were saying from far away, so you have the word arts and then
Mhm.
it's, I just don't know what that is
But
yet.
that could be a logo. So.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, this is very simple, but it is very inclusive, all the arts for all. And it does allow us to not get bogged down in the specifics of the different arts media. And it conveys inclusivity.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or
I think
just
we
arts for all.
We should open it to everybody.
Absolutely, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
see the clouds so that
Because
we
it-
don't just, you know, have like 5 million emails going nowhere. and things
Yeah.
don't- You can hate it, but just start with something.
Right, yeah,
Um,
that's what you build on.
The reason why I wanted to emphasize arts for all the arts for all, is that I really wanted people to start thinking about what that means. I think so often people think of the arts as being limited weirdly.
Mhm.
And also it's symmetrical. It's, you know, it's 5 words that are visually symmetrical,
Oh, okay.
so that could be something as an opportunity maybe for a clever graphic design concept.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Sure.
But I love the word connection. I feel like that's a good key word. I feel like endeavors is also a good one because that is so inclusive.
I mean, you could even do like all the arts for all, and then, you know, how sometimes you have your main thing and then like connecting community to art, like as like the little, whatever you call that, sub tagline. And then someone could, you know, then you could have your contest for
Mhm.
the. Cause I think that those words, like connecting it, like, I think a lot of interesting artistic concepts would come from that.
Mhm. I was just looking at the Washington Environmental Council has a very simple logo that it's just getting bigger through a progression of 3 trees in 2 tones of green.
Do they have a tagline?
You know, let's find it out. They have their own website,
Well, they have been around for a while.
yeah. They're fancy. Do they have a tagline? Doesn't seem to be. It doesn't appear to, but, you know. In my email. Okay, so let's say that I started putting out some keywords that were evocative. You guys being the ones here, you can weigh in on that, but I will circulate that to see the clouds.
Sure.
I think we are in agreement that it would be helpful to a graphic, it's unfair almost to ask a graphic designer, I think, without having
100%, yeah.
a tagline. And I think that Arts Council, although it appears to have been enough for the Environmental Council, I don't know, I feel like Environmental Council, maybe it's just as specific and non-specific, maybe we're making it more difficult than we have to. Do we need a tagline?
I don't know, let's try for one.
I think environmental council is pretty self-explanatory. I think arts council, people might say, oh, well, that's for the artists in town, that's for the Palobolas and the.
Mhm.
I do think saying it's for all actually is important from my perspective as a non-artist.
Okay,
No, I agree with you.
okay, good, that's my instinct as well, I think that's good.
Well,
Okay.
also it's more inclusive.
Yeah.
And this is the way all the organizations are going now. We're more progressive than it used to be,
Mhm.
where it was more elitist, you know. Now we want to be more inclusive, so art for all is right there to the point.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So in terms of other parameters, I already suggested some things that I think are important to emphasize, that it should look good, small and large, because it's probably gonna be used as our, eventually, hopefully, we will have our own Facebook image.
When you get us our t-shirts.
Yeah, I personally like those market bags more than t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because, one size fits all. And, you don't have to worry about stashing them, so, they pack down to nothing. But whatever we choose to put it on
Oh,
first.
no, I'm just joking around.
No, I think having t-shirts is ultimately a really good idea, but, in terms of like how it reads, it should read small and big.
Right, oh, absolutely.
And in terms of how
That's
long,
why we're looking for people to design.
yes,
And I think you can get a lot of interest even in the schools to put it forth to the students, kids and
that's a great idea.
the high school and the middle school and even, you never know, the elementary school kids, that it would be a fun.
Mhm.
I'd try again, I've been trying forever, the idea of Washington, the home of the Arts Council on 202. Or we can choose the area so that it gives a little bit more prestige to the town. I think I mentioned it before because I've been trying to do that with a while, but nobody follows up, I saw that, I think it was in line, passing through, coming in from Newport. And I'm trying to track it down where I saw it. And it was right on the highway, like Lime Arts Association. Beautifully done, very small, not a big sign. And I called one of those towns and she told me that I should get in touch with the Chamber of Commerce. And they are the ones who would agree or do it for us.
Oh, interesting.
So I always feel at the end of 40, is that 47?
Well, I think it'd be cool ultimately to have a sign for sure, like the Lions Club, like welcomes you to town, like it'd be nice that the Arts
Yeah.
Council welcomes you to town.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that's a huge snarl that we're not even.
Well, right, I mean, it does require DOT approval, so that,
Yeah, but why not? Let's try.
Well, right, but let's get something to put on the sign.
Yeah.
Look, I
Yeah.
think it's great to like throw these ideas out and have them like ranked in order of priority and have that as a future
Yeah, yeah.
goal. I think it's great.
I mean, this is the birth of something wonderful. So I'm just thinking aloud.
It should definitely be on the
Yeah.
list, but,
Yeah,
it probably comes a little bit later. at
Yeah.
least from my point of
Like
view,
just
it comes
once
a
they
little
establish like the
oh, yeah,
tagline
yeah,
and
I
things
know,
like that.
but I don't want to.
You
We
don't
will
want
not
to
forget.
forget.
We will not forget.
And so you'll talk about it at every meeting.
I will talk about every, I've been doing it for 20 years, nobody picks it up, you know.
It's called the dripping water.
I called several organizations, you know. Yeah. How did you do it? How did you get it done? And
Well, I wanted to share it once I talked to everyone, and I hope that there've been, you know, as you know, all the holidays were in the spring. I haven't reached Kristen yet, and I haven't reached Kent yet, but I've interviewed everybody else in the council about their short-term and long-term goals. And your sign will be on long-term goals.
Yeah.
So that, and I worked with Michelle to create a little, to organize a drive for us, our own Gmail drive, so like, we will have our resources, we will have everything organized and easy for everybody to find, so that will be also in the next meeting minutes. So I just want you to know, it's not gonna be lost. Moving along though, so. We're gonna move on to the logo for the time being, we're gonna put it out to everybody.
Yep.
A couple of the ideas and keywords that we thought were evocative, encourage other people to brainstorm, and then. I guess, the last thing is in terms of logo contest. What, you do these things, don't you? Like, is it better to have like 1 month, or is it better to have longer? I feel like when it's too long, it just gets lost.
If we're going to do it and try to improve the schools, it has to.
I know,
immediately.
It has to be
Immediately in a fairly short window.
by mid-June.
yeah, you'd want to, if you don't limit it, people lose interest. I still have time, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
never do it.
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
give
mean, if
people
you-
like 3 weeks.
Well, I was gonna say, if you. I don't know if everyone can agree on a tagline, but I mean, if you got it by the beginning of May, and then that would give you to mid-June. To, you know, have the deadline for, that way that within the schools, they could advertise it to any kids interested.
Being amazed in 2 weeks.
I know,
So, well, I mean, look, we can all just be in communication. We're not gonna meet again until the middle of May, so.
oh, we don't, I didn't know if
We
you
meet once
meant,
a month on the second Thursday.
okay,
And that's gonna be all about getting these final, you know.
It doesn't have to come back from the schools.
yeah, it's not
by
that,
the end of
yeah, it's
school.
not that it's gonna come back, it could, because they won't do it within, for at least the public school curriculum. You know, they're not gonna stop their curriculum to start having kids work on a logo, it's more that it's sent out in correspondence to the parents and to kids, that they know that this is something to work on and submit, so it's okay if it, you know, gets like started mid-May.
Okay,
But with the idea perhaps of it going out and be fairly soon after our next meeting.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
when
And then
we
maybe-
voted on
and then just have it in
the
the,
slogan and.
yeah, and then maybe give it to the end of June, and then. You know, in the weekly email sent out by school, it could be in that, and then it also could be in the selectmen's letter each week, kind of like how the photography thing is.
Right.
so our mailer will not have the new logo for the summer, but maybe for the fall. So I think it would be a good idea if we do one that launches like basically from Columbus Day to. You know, like Memorial Day, you know, like we do the summer season, and then there's fewer things over the winter. I think it'd be good to have highlights
Yeah, they'll
of
have
the winter
the
season.
plays of the 2 high schools, and.
Yeah,
You know,
and there's a
there are
bunch of
things that,
holiday stuff and,
sure,
Yeah.
Some of the fundraisers, are in spring.
oh, I know that the majority of things are, spring, yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking if you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, or maybe we should just do fall and then do like January, I don't know, we'll figure it out, but I think we should do another mailer before the end of the year, and that's when we can use our logo. It will not go up in December, won't be ready in time. but that's okay. It could be ready in time for the last item of new business that Michelle brought up, which I thought was a fun idea. The EDC already has done this contest and awarded all these people like the best photos for 4 seasons, and they've used, I think, both the winners and the runners up for rotating.
It's for Explore Washington.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they already have decided that they want to do a exhibit here in this town hall. So it's great, it's not on the turf of law or whatever, but it will also get people to understand that this is the seat of the Arts Council. And we have to, of course, figure out how this would work ethically. I mean, the artist should make some money, but maybe if we sell the photographs, maybe a portion of it could go to the Arts Council or something like that. So we could start to have a little bit of income. So I think
Yeah,
that'd be,
I'm all for
I
it.
think it'd be fun to have a little opening
Yeah.
and have all the photographers here, and I think it's just a really. And I've been looking at the pictures on Explore Washington, they're great, and I think it's, and I hope that many of them are amateur photographers, I think it's great to have people try stuff, yeah, which is great. So I think that's really on message for what we want to encourage, yes, we want professionals to get their due, but also to encourage people to gleefully dabble in the arts,
I
so.
will donate all my profits to the Arts Council.
Oh, you got a winning photograph?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for which season?
That was the fall
Oh.
season,
Excellent,
yeah. And I
congratulations.
have sent some for the winter. Yeah, but I haven't heard, so I don't know if they,
Okay, I don't know.
whatever,
That's
you
not,
know, but it's
Well, the
okay.
problem is they have to be done
It's my,
during the time, but they won't get used until, and I can't
Yeah.
remember what the
Yeah.
deadline for the winter one is.
well, the
Yeah.
whole cycle of the year will be done by the
Right.
fall. And so the date that's being held is Friday, October 6th, which I think is the weekend before the Harvest Festival, which is always Columbus Day weekend.
Right, with the Sunday of Columbus Day weekend.
Right. But it can be up during that time too, so we can have our own evening, so tentatively hold that date, I think it's gonna be a good thing for us.
that would be a good
Yeah,
idea.
How does it come, I mean, just because I saw it, I mean, how does it come to be our reception,
Well, it's EDC, but it's like, she's head of both of them.
I'm on both of them, so.
Okay. Oh, so I see what you're saying, I mean, she said she still has to sort things out.
Okay, okay.
But she was proposing
I mean,
this.
I'm not against it,
Yes,
I
yes.
just, I mean, it was initiated in one level, and so we can't take credit for it,
No,
but we can certainly
no,
congratulate it.
yes.
But I was just curious what the reasoning was.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We should not be trying to get anybody to usurp the
Well,
work.
no, I didn't think you were, but or even the appearance of it, but I just didn't understand the connections.
Well, it was basically Michelle with the connection and the suggestion.
Yeah,
And I think she was trying to think of a way for us to
And this
organically
makes more-
collaborate,
this makes more sense to have the Arts Council.
which didn't
party
exist.
or reception. I
Right.
don't see the EDC doing that.
Right, and it also, maybe in future years, it will be run by us, by arts, but it didn't exist when they
Right,
launched
right,
it. So I think this is also just a issue of evolution.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
Yeah, nobody has grabbed it, so Michelle decided, we'll take over that.
Well, no,
Yeah,
she,
yeah.
no, she.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good idea. I mean,
So-
it'll be fun for our council to have a little,
Oh, no,
reception. No, I know what you mean, yeah.
That I just.
you were just curious, how did he end up in our lap?
I mean, it started out with Explore Washington wanting photos.
Yeah,
So that they could, and then the
Yeah.
WEDC set up the 2 contests.
yeah,
And, so, I just,
yes,
Yeah.
thank you for raising that delicate issue. I'm gonna leave it to her and maybe to you to make
yeah,
sure nobody gets
and
ruffled.
it certainly, as I said, the WEDC isn't going to be hosting a party. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Really?
Well, not really. I mean, I don't think that's the mission, and it just, this is the.
well, I'm studying photography and it's my hobby. So everybody who wants pictures of whatever, I go out and take them, you know.
You buzzing.
Just
Yeah, no, I think it makes perfect. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a
Okay, no,
good
I
idea.
get it, I get it, and, I think both you and Michelle have a good sense of being politics, so I think that she just wanted me to present to all of you, does it sound like a good idea? Are you enthusiastic about it? And then she
Very,
will do the
yeah.
proper things to make sure everybody is
Yeah,
in favor of it,
Yeah,
on the EDC side. Okay, all right. So let's say tentatively that we are in favor of exploring that possibility.
no, absolutely.
Yeah,
no question
second.
about it.
Okay, good, good. And then the other thing that I thought would be interesting to explore, and I believe that Michelle is open to this, is that we put like an arts map, maybe on the back side of this or something like that, like the next printing.
The next printing will probably not be for well over a year.
Okay.
I mean, just in terms of what was printed the last time
Mm-hmm.
and,
That's
and
good.
that's a good idea. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
It's definitely a good idea to have that as part of it, but
I mean, and I'm also looking at this map, I mean, that this is, if it's a year out, then we have a lot of time to think about it, but.
I mean, confirm that with her, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I mean, part of what makes the printing of that work is Frederick Gunn, Matthews, I mean, there were some large purchasers
Mm-hmm.
of passports. And then there was a balance left over, but that's what helped bring down the cost, and if you would just be printing it,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a lot more expensive
Mm-hmm.
without those donors, and they have not, I'm sure they have not used up the quantity that they received.
That makes sense.
Why did they change the name to? We always said the gunnery, you know, and now it's the Frederick.
Because it's their school.
Their family,
Well, it's Frederick Gunn, I mean.
I know, but we never used it. I mean, I've been here, what, 28 years, and at the beginning it was just the gunnery,
It
that's
was
the
a
gunnery.
rebranding of the
It was,
school.
yeah.
And it wasn't printed either.
We're not gonna get bogged down in those.
No, I was just wondering if anybody
I
knew.
think that's the answer, this is how they've chosen to rebrand it, and I think they felt it was a more serious,
And I believe that they're like putting him forward as like an
Right.
enlightened person
Right.
and,
Yes.
you know, that they're going
Yeah,
back to those.
whatever,
roots.
I mean, it doesn't bother me at all.
All right, so I think we moved some good things along here. Is there anything else people want to raise or new business for next time? I mean, I really, if we get this, everybody's information, this would be a huge triumph by next time. And also get this logo contest underway with a working tagline. to
I
give to
think-
represent.
This is off the top of my head, not what I'm thinking, but in terms of like, so for example, you're gonna have a contest for like the logo, but we want the Arts Council to be known for all types of arts. So I didn't know if, and it might be like too much, but if we wanted to have, I don't know, every few months, like basically some sort of little like contest, like maybe like an essay to promote
I
writing,
love that.
or, you know, something like a songwriting contest, like just every couple of months, just like
Mhm.
we're sponsoring this contest, and, you know, there's a little prize for each. I just thought it kind of shows, here are all these different arts. And
I'm gonna
not,
put that on our goals,
and
I
not-
love that.
not just like this one thing we do that,
April poetry.
yeah,
Well, and I also thought it ultimately would be really cool if we recognized local laureates in the different arts, like. You know, I don't know, we could not, and like, I don't want it to be as. Brutal as these votes can be, but, you know, like a sculptor, you know, celebrating a sculptor, celebrating a writer, I mean, maybe it has to be all contest based.
or you could do, in addition to the contest, you also, again, just to get people thinking about it, like. But this would also, we'd have to get people volunteering their time, like maybe once a month, like, on like a Friday. Again, I'm only thinking from what I know, like my husband and Kent do improv, they teach improv to the students, like drop in improv night, like, you know.
Or an open mic night?
Open mic night, like, but something, or something that people can come, I don't know if they could do it in the lobby here, or, you know, set up, you know, an arts. You know, someone who's a painter comes in and does like a. And you have to sign up, you know, there, obviously you can't just have 100 people, you know, but it would be free though, but you know, you sign up for spaces available. But just to get people kind of like, cool, like we are an arts town, like look at all these people, because I always think to myself about Washington, I think there are so many artists of all types, but their accessibility is not always there. And so if you could reach out to those people and get them to volunteer their time, literally like one time, because you'd be rotating, you know, say one Friday of each month. So the person does it one time and that's it, because then the next month you're on to whatever, singing or something.
Do you mean one person organizing it?
No, I mean like let's say Kevin and Kent did improv.
Okay,
They gave their time that one Friday night. It's not they're doing it every month, because then the next month, a different artist
It's poetry.
is doing poetry that,
Singer-songwriter.
but they're volunteering their time though. So you're
Right.
saying, would you be willing to do this? Because we're trying to, because I love, personally, like, I love taking classes. I would like take classes like writing all the time if I could, like, I think people just, it's about exposure. And so instead of kind of like what you were saying before, not it being an elitist thing, but being for everybody, like the logo, like for all, and saying everybody has access to these people who are these very talented. I think that's how I,
So you would include pottery?
Well, yeah,
One month will be pottery.
yeah, but the Arts Council would have to probably put the bill for supply, you know, because you want to make it, again, I'm all about it being accessible to people and not elitist in terms of like, I can afford this and you can't, like, so that's why I would want it to be, you know,
but it could be pottery somewhere down the road.
Yes.
I mean,
sure.
Yes.
Because at some point there will be funds.
But,
Uh,
but having someone come in and do, I don't know if you know, have connections with authors, having a writer come in and doing literally a creative writing night, and
yeah,
you,
no, that's.
you know,
no, That's possible.
it's just something like that each month. It would be so fun.
And,
I don't know.
and there's a lot of local towns.
Well, that's, yeah, because, I mean,
I mean,
real- truly,
in some
the-
cases, you might be bringing someone in from outside, but there's.
but no, you really could
an
find it
enormous
in
amount of local
town if those artists are willing. Yeah. Cause that's been like, I'm on the PTO for Washington Primary School, and I'm the arts enrichment coordinator, meaning I bring people in the PTO fund. So I bring in, like, you know, in March for Dr. Seuss Day, we bring in a visiting author. But we have a set amount of funds and people are very expensive. And so I've been getting, like, for example, this coming week, Ron Castingway, the head of the arts at Frederick Gunn, he is bringing his students down to play for the students and to do a, you know, a question answer thing, and like, and he does it for free. And Kent and Kevin came in the fall and did improv with the kids. Like, basically, I just say, like, who will do free stuff, because I don't have a ton of money to spend,
Right.
you know. And then the people I do pay for, they'll say like, I'll come in for an hour for $700, you know, it's expensive.
It's expensive.
And so I've come to like seeking people out, saying, would you volunteer your time? And I'm trying to find people in the community, and people are very willing.
Mhm, mhm.
So I get that, you know, but so this idea I have is I'm doing it with the school, but I,
Larger scale.
I
for
like that.
larger scale and for adults, and for kids too, but if it was like a nighttime thing, you know.
Mhm, mhm.
But I just think something like that would say, we truly are arts for all, because
Mhm,
we're,
mhm,
you know, not just going to watch people do arts. I think that's the other thing is like, you know, when you look at the flyer, you see all these events of people watching other people do
Mhm.
art, but I think people also like being part of art too.
I agree.
And, you know, so anyway, that's my last little thing.
I really like that.
That.
Yeah, that will make us that would be right up our alley, you know, to be alive and
Yeah.
to keep us on our toes when we commit ourselves to having a monthly event by the Arts Council,
Yeah.
you know,
And it just connects people too,
and,
you know?
yeah. And maybe
Yeah,
we can
Sarah's
get
really good
somebody
at that.
to contribute.
And it
Yeah.
might not be monthly, I mean, one of the things.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we talked
exactly. It
about
doesn't have to be
Was,
monthly.
you know, I mean, there's everything that happens in the summer and the fall is pretty.
Yes.
busy too, But then you have the winter months that is sort of in the doldrums.
Yes,
And some of these things, you know, I mean, we were talking about things that were month specific in terms of the way they're branded. But that doesn't mean that that couldn't also be done in those other months when things aren't quite as active.
Sure,
oh, I agree completely. I'm always complaining that nothing happens here in the winter. Look at the month of June. Every organization is having their event in June. That's crazy. That's why we are having the summer solstice in July this year. Because we couldn't fit it in. I mean, people will be exhausted. And then with my mojitos, God knows. Yeah, but this is a good idea. It's a project oriented that we are going to be more active, more inclusive.
Well, I love the idea that, you know, we can use this space. I don't know.
Yes.
And not, it has air conditioning and this is a perfectly big room to have a class or something.
Yeah, and also in the winter, we use this space too, you know. And, you know, I'll make
Yeah,
mojitos.
I don't know how it shakes out in terms of custodial services and
Mhm.
someone who has to be in the building.
So yeah, each
Yeah.
event costs a little something, and
Right.
that's where we have to raise money
Right.
for that.
Right.
and then the warmer months, you also have the option, or, you know, fall and spring, summer, as long as you reserve it. I forget who you go to, but like the pavilion, because it's covered,
Mhm.
you know, you could
Well,
do
Judy Black is available too.
Sure.
And there's a fee attached to that, but.
pavilions. I don't know if the pavilion's free or not, but.
We're doing summer solstice at the pavilion.
Yeah, do they charge you? Or you just have to reserve the date?
You have to definitely reserve.
You have to, I know you have to reserve, because for PTO, we had to reserve
Yeah.
it, but
We're.
I don't know if
Scale is probably quite different though, so, I mean,
Yeah.
I would be surprised if you didn't have to pay something, but.
right, but I'm thinking of,
The other things that might. be
Sure.
necessary.
But I mean, we did it here, we paid $10,000 for the tent.
No, I know you did.
And I mean, I've been doing it for 13 years. And when I did it at the facilities here, we always made clear 25,000, 24,000 clear after paying all the bills, because I got everything gratis.
Mhm.
Bruce decided we want to be grandiose. And
Abdo.
Yeah.
This is a public meeting.
yeah, so you know, it's
This is all being recorded.
oh. Okay. Should have told me that at the beginning.
We record every meeting.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I always have many bruises.
Anyway. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, the pavilion, I think it would be minimal.
Yeah, no, I mean, all worth
Yeah.
investigating,
Yeah.
yeah, no, but it's a great idea.
it's a super great idea, and I think that it sounds like you already have a great running start of people who are sympathetic, even if they don't wanna do it again, because you've already, they may know other people, so I think it's. I'm gonna partner with you on that and
Sure.
rubbing that up. I like that idea and run that by everybody else and see what
Yeah, that's.
Michelle can make available for us and, you know, troubleshooting of pavilion use, et cetera. Just the last thing I wanted to mention before we wrap up, if pending anything else, I'm sorry, Sarah had such a good idea. I don't want to miss any other great ideas. Did anybody want to add anything else? I just think that it's so, at first I was really annoyed that our time was this time, but that worked for everybody else. And I think, like, let's make it a virtue, like, it's kind of a festive hour, and so that's why I bring refreshments. And I thought too, like, I did my paragraph in time, but for whatever reason, the robots didn't get up to Amanda. I'm gonna announce, you know, like, all the other committee members, like, what we've been doing and et cetera. And I would like to encourage other arts people to come and be part of public comment, especially when we have like next month will be all about scheduling. So maybe some people may wanna show up and just make it clear that they're here, what they're doing, et cetera. And future meetings may have themes to them, but we may wanna invite people to come, and then I think it's nice to just encourage people to loiter and get to know each other. I don't know if that's appealing or if that's too late for some of you, given the rest of your lives, but I just wanted to put it out there that we can have this be a little bit of a party every week, every month.
Well, Jim's note about the activities in the town, he did mention our meeting tonight.
Right, no, but I wrote like, there's, I don't know if you noticed, but the first Friday of the first week of every month, they have a little paragraph from the chairman of every committee, and I
Right.
know I didn't let you down, I did do a little digest.
Yeah.
But it didn't get, the person who collates it didn't receive it for whatever reason.
Okay.
So
I
next
see
month
what
we
you-
will be in the May one, which is actually good timing, because that will be right before our deadline of the 11th for our print deadline, so I'll have a little announcement with that. But, do you like the idea of having our events be, our meetings be a little bit festive and invite people?
I'm not opposed to it, but,
Okay. But it has to be purposeful. Okay, we'll leave it to see how things evolve. Well, anyway, thank you, everybody, for your time. Thanks for
Thank
coming. I guess we are adjourned.
so,
I'm gonna stop this.
I'm sorry, Jim,
Stop
we were
video.
being
Stop video
yeah. well, we're-
tamed.
we're always going, yeah.
and. Right.
But thank you for bringing all the refreshments, even though we didn't.
I
partake.
know.
Yeah. I had a 3 hours lunch at the Hopkins Inn,
Oh.
and
poor
it knocked me out
Poor
completely.
you.
Yeah, I came home and took a nap
And of course,
immediately.
you only drank water.